everyone for staying with us. Well, it's no longer news. 12 persons have now been screened and confirmed to run in the APC governorship primary. Some of those names that you are aware, you know of, some of them, Prince Clem Agba, former Minister of Budget, Senator Monday Okpebolo, he was a sitting federal lawmaker, Honorable Lucky Emaswine, Honorable Anamero Sunday Dekeri is a sitting member of the House of Representatives. Osage Andrew Ize Yamu, a former candidate of the APC. Colonel David Imuse, Engineer Gideon Ikine, General Charles Ariavere, a former, is not an alien to running for governorship of Edo State. Professor Osumbo, Mr. Blessing Agbomere, Honorable Dennis Idahosa, and Ernest Umake. These are the first things that have been screened. 12 of them sounds like the 12 disciples, but then one person will have to be the flag bearer. But who will that be? Let's get talking, everyone. I have joining me a former Attorney General of Edo State and a member of the APC, Henry Idahagbon. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I need to confirm whether or not your name is still on the roll of the APC, because I know there was a time that you were suspended. Yes. Are you being reinstated now?
Yes, of course. I've since been reinstated. The suspension was politically motivated, but the leadership
have been forgiven.
Well, I didn't commit any sin. It was just politically motivated.
All right. So you are a member of
yes, I'm
APC.
A bona fide member of the APC.
And you have the locus to discuss the APC matter.
Oh, very well. I'm one of the leaders of the party. Whether at my central level or at the state level, I'm one of the leaders. Yes.
You watched the interview with Comrade Oshiomhole yesterday.
I did.
And there are a lot of ripples. There are a lot of reactions to the man who will be regarded as the leader of the APC in Edo State today. But then there are a lot of anxiety in the air ahead of the weekend governorship primary. What is your biggest fear about that election?
My biggest fear is that the leadership of the party, under Comrade Oshiomhole, they are on the threshold of making a very bad decision that may lead us continuing in our opposition status in the state.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. Now, I am going to air my opinion with all due respect to our leader. It's our leader in Edo State. He's a former governor who did very well. He's generally regarded as apostle of development in the state. So let us go to the basic. At the beginning of this dispensation, in the build-up to this primary, there was an agreement which our leader consented to, that the governorship of the state in 2024 will not be zoned to any senatorial district. And therefore, aspirants were welcomed from the 3 senatorial districts. And that is what led to the 29 aspirants that we have. All of them were encouraged to throw their hearts into the ring because it was agreed that there will be no zoning. And Comrade Oshiomhole was part of the leadership of the party that agreed that there will be no zoning. In fact, the state publicity secretary at a point, I think it was in November last year, had to issue a written statement. That is one. Then 2, virtually all the aspirants, especially the one from his senatorial district, which he admitted here yesterday, that he unilaterally removed them from the list of those recommended by the Idahagbon committee. They all went to him at the beginning to inform him of their intention to seek the #1 seat in the state. At that time, he didn't tell them that, look, my senatorial district will not be involved in this contest. Do not participate. He encouraged them, he blessed some of them, and then they went into the race. Only for at the very last minute to now say that he admitted here yesterday that he was the one, after the Idahagbon committee submitted their report, they became functus official, but unilaterally, because he said, according to him, that he trusts his senatorial district to have confidence in him that he will make the best judgment for them. I'm afraid in 2016, he made the wrong judgment for us.
And which was that?
Which was Obaseki. He brought Obaseki from nowhere. He, against the popular will of the people that supported his then deputy governor, who is on record to be one of the most loyal deputy governors ever in the history of Nigeria. The man has a huge and robust political pedigree. He was a former member of the House of Representatives for 8 years. He was a former council chairman in Edo State. His father
Which was?
Dr. Pius Odubu. Dr. Pius Odubu. He was the deputy governor. Dr. Pius Odubu's father was a traditional person of high repute and highly venerated in his local area. And the man contested and won the election as a legislator in his area 10 times, 10 consecutive times. That's Odubu's father. So he came with a robust political pedigree. A lot of people supported him, but he brought Obaseki from nowhere. And this is where we are today now with Obaseki.
You don't think that
was 2016.
Just a moment, you don't think that Comrade Oshiomhole perhaps has learned from what you are regarding as his mistake?
You know, he has learned nothing. From his current disposition, clearly shows he has learned nothing. And my fear is that he may not even be capable of learning from all this.
All right. So
because in 2020, he made the same mistake in 2020. Again? So that's why I said, yes, that's why I said his judgment, we can no longer rely on it in 2024.
You said Obaseki was his mistake in 2016. Yes. 2020, what was the mistake?
The mistake is this. In 2016, while trying to market Obaseki, he attributed to Obaseki attributes that Obaseki didn't possess. And in the process, he demonized Pastor Osagie Ezeyamu. And then in 2020, he now came back with Pastor Osagie. Some of us went to him. This guy, as good as he is, has been demarketed. He's been demonized. He said, no problem. We spoke to the people with our mouth. We will speak to them again. Our people didn't listen. And one of the reasons why Pastor lost that election in 2020, not because he's not popular with our people said, Oshiomhole, you told us in 2016, this man is demon, he's devil. In 2020, you cannot now tell us he's an angel. What gives? What has happened? So he has made this mistake twice. And that's why some of us is loyalists. Some of us is political men are telling him this time around, he should calm down. And then listen to his people. And not go ahead. Because he said here yesterday, that he doesn't have any... We know as a fact that he already has a candidate.
Who is the candidate?
I don't want to mention his name.
No, because you can't make those kind of claims and you'll not be able to substantiate it.
Sheon, I can't substantiate.
Because he said on this program yesterday, because you're a lawyer of repute, you're a former attorney general.
Yes.
So if you're making those claims, the man has said yesterday, I do not have anybody that I'm supporting. But you are making a claim. So if you are making a claim, if you come to, what's it called? You come with those evidence.
Okay. I am saying, and I have evidence, that he is supporting Honorable Dennis Idahosa. Because he has called several of our leaders to tell them.
Dennis Idahosa is Oshiomhole's candidate.
Yeah, that is his candidate. And they should go on Saturday, they should go and vote for him. Some of us believe that he's making another grave mistake.
In Dennis Idahosa?
In Dennis Idahosa, yes.
Why?
Because Dennis Idahosa is relatively new in the system. He's just 43 years old. He has not done enough investigation about his antecedent. I'm not going to say more than that. He has not done so. He didn't do so in 2016 when he brought Obaseki. In fact, Obaseki said after he became governor that he studied Comrade for 8 solid years and Comrade did not bother to study him. He said so. So we are not going to sit back and watch him repeat the mistake he made in 2016, in 2020, and in 2024. And that is why we are saying on Saturday, he should allow a level playing field. He's talking about unilaterally removing his, the reason he gave for removing his senatorial district is that he currently is a minister from Edo North Senatorial District. In 2016, on his exit, there were people from Edo North Senatorial District who aspired to be governor of Edo State. Oshiomhole told them that it would be immoral for him to hand over to an Edo North person. In 2024, the person that is outgoing governor is an Edo South person. Now he wants to hand over to an Edo South person, Dennis Idahosa. What has changed? That's one. Two, in 2016, who was the minister representing Edo State? It's Dr. Ihanire from Oredo Local Government Council. And Obaseki is also from Oredo Local Government Council. So the argument... So
in your own view, yes, zoning does not have a place.
It doesn't.
Or political appropriations of political offices does not have a place in this game. Is that what you're saying?
No, let me explain. Under normal circumstances, you can zone. But the circumstances we have found ourselves in Edo State today is far from being normal. You mentioned, I saw Governor Zulum on your program. That's a governor that's working. Governance has taken flight in Edo State these past 8 years. I'm sure Governor Oshiomhole has not been driving around Edo State since he left. Because for 4 years, Obaseki even prevented him from coming into Benin City. So he doesn't know how bad. The situation in Edo State today is bad. The state is in dire need. The state is collapsing. Every vital infrastructure of the state which he did in his time, they've all gone bad and unmaintained. We don't have roads, whether internal. Every road in Edo State today is designated federal road because the governor has abandoned the roads. Go to our schools, they are falling apart. They call it Edo Best. In December 2023, I went to the 18 local government areas in Edo State, and I cried.
What about those who attribute the e-governance strategy of Governor Obaseki and his investment initiatives with different private initiatives, the refinery initiatives and other investment? You're speaking about Edo State. It does look like it's at the back end of the world.
You see, Edo State is actually the back end of the world
right now.
Right now.
What are the indices to support that?
In every sector. For example, in December 2023, over 38 young men in Edo, they were killed because of court clashes. One of the causes of court clashes is because there's no employment. There's no company that is performing, that is working today in Edo to employ people other than government service. And that's why it's either you are a civil servant or you belong to Edo State government vigilante or you belong to LASMA, the traffic arm of the government. There's nothing else. So there are no jobs. There are no company. You call it e-governance. Yes, MOU. Everything Governor Obaseki has done is about earmarking. You cannot earmark them. You cannot see them on the ground. Yes, the refinery is working. The refinery was set up at Ologbo. But I cannot now sit here and assess the impact on the economy of the state. But those things you can see. The school system is not working. There are no teachers. There are no buildings. The roads all completely collapsed. So, because of the very dire strait our state is in for now, we cannot afford to zone. So we have to look at these 12 individuals who have been screened and cleared and go for the very best. Who can help to resuscitate the state? So who can help to do to the state what Oshiomhole did after he took over?
Do you have someone you are supporting?
I am supporting the immediate past minister for budget and national planning.
That's
Clemagbon. First, because of his pedigree. This is a man who schooled in Edo State primary, secondary, and university. And thereafter, he joined Chevron. From Chevron, he rose to become a manager of Chevron in Nigeria. And was thereafter seconded as manager of Chevron, manager of logistics in Kazakhstan, the first African to do so, with 1,502 staff members who are all whites, non-Africans, under his immediate control and leadership. Then thereafter, he was made commissioner for environment in Edo State. The urban renewal project of Governor Adams Oshiomhole was driven, I was a member of the ESCO, was driven and headed by Clemagbon. And as minister, no other minister in the history of Edo State, and I've said this on other forum, and I stand to be challenged. When Chief Anene was minister, may peace continue to be on his soul, was minister of works in this country, he was a de facto vice president. In fact, there was a time one of the popular newspapers in Nigeria wrote a news headline that Chief Anene was in soup, and Chief Anene replied that no pot in Nigeria is big enough to contain him, so he cannot be in soup. He was that big. How many projects was he able to attract to Edo State? Clemagbon attracted close to 100 verifiable projects. Most of them completed and made some of them ongoing as Minister of State for Budget and National Planning in just 3.5 years. So we need a man of such competence. Of course, there are a couple of others among the 12 that can also do this job. Dennis should just be the last amongst them.
You are speaking against Dennis, a young man who, by law, he has every right to be able to run and vote for, be voted for.
Of course he does.
But the fact remains that because you have a support, of course, you're clamoring for the man that you are supporting. But the question will be, justifiably, I mean, in the case of fairness, can you say Mr. Momo, who is the minister from the same senatorial district as Comrade Oshiomhole, and there, I mean, those are very strong position. You have the de facto leader of the party in the state. You have the minister representing this, the only minister that you have in Edo State from that senatorial district. Like Comrade Oshiomhole said here yesterday, can you justify that another or a governorship candidate of the APC comes from that same senatorial district? What do you say to Edo South? What do you say to Edo Central?
What I am saying is that the primary election should be allowed to be free and fair. so that all the 12 aspirants who have been screened and cleared will have an equal opportunity.
Is it looking like that's not going to happen?
No, that's not going to happen because,
How?
like I told you,
what are the evidence to support the fact that it may not happen?
He's been calling some of our leaders and telling them.
Is that a crime?
No, it's not a crime, but he shouldn't be doing that because that's his own judgment.
But the leader, if he's supporting someone...
He did it in 2016, Sheung. Where are we? Where did he take us to? He took us to a level where for him to come to Benin, to land in the airport in Benin, we have to arrange boys to protect him to go to his house. The day his house was stormed and the youths were to burn his house, he was not home, I was the one in his house that day. The day they drove the refuse truck to the transformer in front of his house. He was not home. He left me in his house to attend the function. I was there. He wasn't there, so he didn't know what happened. He got to that level from a judgment that he made in 2016. He made the same judgment, like I said, in 2020. Should we look? You see, some of us that are telling him this truth, we are more of his friends and loyalists than those sycophants who are telling him to go ahead. There is Idausa, I am not saying he's not qualified to be governor of Edo State. But if he emerges from a primary that is free and fair, without the leadership guiding those who are to vote, fine, all of us will queue behind him. But what is happening now is that I have a video on my phone, which I can show you after this program, on one of the boys he called. The boy was outside of the country. The boy was asked to come back to come and mobilize. And the boy called a meeting and he said so. And my LGA chairman, Chief Emmanuel, said, challenge the boy that you are too small to be an errand of Comrade Oshiomhole to come and tell us to vote for a particular, to vote for Dennis Idahosa. I have it on video on my phone. So what we are saying, the comrade in 2016 didn't see anything wrong in supporting an Edo South man to become governor when we had the minister from Edo South. He didn't see anything wrong with it. He should not also see anything wrong with it this time around. Secondly, let us go to national politics. During last year's election, when President Buhari was on his way out, there was a huge clamor that another Northerner should be president. That's why Atiku got the ticket of the PDP. But some people from the north, led by the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, came out to say no, that this country is a complex nation, that the north have had 8 years in power. He should go to the southern part of the country. Now, Edo South, the governor is outgoing, is from Edo South. You brought him in 2016. Even if you now want to zone it to Edo South, I am of the firm opinion, as one of the leaders of the party in Edo South, if you zone it to us, then you should allow us make the choice. Right. It will be tantamount to giving us a wife and giving us the man who to sleep with the wife for you to zone it to Edo South. And also now deciding for us. Right. It means he sees our leadership in Edo South has been incapable of deciding who to be the governor of Edo State. And we say no to that.
Yeah. Henry Idahagbon is a former Attorney General of Edo State. Thank you so much indeed for your thoughts tonight. And I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's going to be